Hey, everybody. A quick update about Heather Turner's case. The DA in Paulding County, Robert Lane, released a statement today, and you can find it on the Justice for Heather Nicole Turner page on Facebook. In the statement, the DA says that they are still waiting on results of forensic testing in Heather's case. How in all of the heckety heck in all of the heckin' world is there still forensic testing that's being done 8 years later? And they didn't even recover evidence from the house until 12 days after Heather's death. So, what all was cleaned up or removed in that time? It would be interesting to know what date the current evidence being tested was submitted for testing. The rest of the letter is mostly a lot of unnecessary words to make it look like they're doing more than they're doing. For instance, here are the points they made about the sheriff of Paulding County. They had to include that, quote, on May 21st, 2024, Ashley Henson won the Republican primary of Paulding County, Georgia, and subsequently ran unopposed in the general election on November 5th, 2024. On January 1st, 2025, Sheriff Ashley Henson, and then in parentheses, Sheriff Henson, assumed office as the 50th Sheriff of Paulding County, Georgia. On January 1st, 2025, Sheriff Ashley Henson ordered the prioritization of the investigation into the death of Miss Turner. End quote. Well, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, Bobby, but you could have just written, the newly elected Sheriff Ashley Henson promised to make Heather's case a priority when he took office on January 1st, 2025. See? Easy peasy, bacon greasy. Whether or not he ran unopposed has nothing to do with Heather's case. And it doesn't matter if he's the 50th sheriff of Paulding County or the 150th. We don't care. Stop putting out fluff to try and make up for a lack of substance. What I thought was the most interesting part of the statement was that SLED is helping them. Now, SLED is the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. And while they usually just stick to crimes in South Carolina, they will help out in cases if they happen to cross state lines. For instance, if something happened in South Carolina that led to Heather's death. And I don't know if this is what's going on or not. Maybe they do other things that I don't know about, but I think it is very interesting that they are in on the investigation. Also, in the video I made about Heather's case, I mentioned that Andy Turner had left the water running on through most of the 911 call, and I've thought about why he might have done that. Now, in my video, I mentioned that steam will degrade DNA, but you know what else running water might do? Cover up the sound of other running water, like the sink running, so someone might have water to clean up the bathroom. And if Andy was cleaning during that call, that also might explain why sometimes he sounded further away from his phone than others. Finally, Andy released a book in 2023 titled Who Turned on the Silence? And yes, it's a question, but there isn't a question mark in the title. I don't know why either. It's supposed to be a book about him setting the record straight about Heather's death and what he and his family have gone through since her death. I think he tried to make out like it was going to be a book to help other people who have been through similar situations, but trust me, it's not going to help. I read the book yesterday and then spent today going through and highlighting all of the information he provided that I'm going to be contradicting using things like court records and government documents. Now, when I say this guy lied about Mickey Mouse stuff, I don't mean it in the figurative sense. I mean he literally lied about something to do with Mickey Mouse. The book is currently listed as nonfiction, but I think it should definitely be in the fiction section. I'm working on a video now that covers the book, as well as some interviews he gave during his absolute whirlwind of a book tour, which really was less whirlwind and more like a puff of air generated by an ant's fart. So stay tuned, kids. This case is turning out to be a doozy.